I've been asked to get my hands on one of these kits for a long time, and I've been wanting to get my hands on this since they first came out, but funds have been tight. I cleared up a little bit of funds, and with that little bit of money that I cleared up, I was able to afford this kit. Now, I did buy this on sale from Euro Optics for around $240, but thanks to the great state of New York, shipping and tax totaled this up to almost $280. But what does your $280 get you? Or at least, what did it get me? Well, it got me a really nice SIG box, which I don't mind. Their SIG does boxes fairly well, and that's good. I like my stuff being protected. Now, here's the thing. Assembled in China is all you can expect from something like this, especially for the price point. Sub $300 for a mount and an LPVO? You can't really hold your breath too much on that. Anyway, we popped the top on this kit, and you can tell SIG spent more than 30 seconds trying to figure out how to situate this box to have everything fit properly. And you know what? I think they did a really good job. They dropped the scope and moved it back, and were able to put this really nice little insert here for the mount on top of it. Now, we are going to look at the mount first, and we're going to look at it really quick. I was thinking about doing 2 individual videos on this, but because I can't seem to find this mount being sold anywhere by itself, it's almost a little counterintuitive, or at least counterproductive in this case. If you guys really want me to go a deeper dive into this mount, let me know in the comment section below. Yeah, I just don't want to have a 45-minute long video on something that no one's going to buy. Anyway, the mount itself, this is just oil. Don't worry about that. I don't know why there's oil in there, but it is what it is. The mount itself feels pretty lightweight. And at 5.8 ounces, you can clearly tell it's a full ounce lighter than its direct competitor, Vortex cantilever permanently attached mount. Now, granted, this is a slightly older Vortex mount, so the newer ones might be a little bit lighter, but a whole ounce lighter to compete with this, I'm not too sure. That's a lot of weight, especially for something that comes in a kit for so cheap. Not only that, you get 2 big 1/2-inch hex, which are captive. I don't really care for the 1/2-inch hex, but if this mount returns to 0 and works well, I don't mind it. It's got a slightly small feet on the claw, but you can see the 2 cross bolts over here have been machined to not be round anymore, which is nice, and to have a nice flat edge, so this way it'll interlock with your pick rail nice and snug. Now, this does have a little bit of play back and forth on the pick rail, but push forward, you torque to, look at that, 65 inch-pounds, and then you're good to go. From what I've seen so far, SIG put a lot of thought into this mount, which I really appreciate, because it's not every day that you find a mount that's included for an LPVO that's basically free. Little details like this: 65 inch-pounds for the cross slide, 25 inch-pounds for the main rings, and that's it. This is actually really nice. You can clearly see that they saved a few tenths of an ounce on hollowing out these pockets on the side, and these little, probably more of a form over function type deal. But you know what? It adds a little bit of character and it removes a little bit of weight, so it's a win-win. But you guys aren't here for just a mount. Oh no, I'm gonna put that off to the side. You're here for what else is inside the box. An LPVO. Not just an LPVO, but a SIG LPVO. I've enjoyed most of the SIG LPVOs I've gotten my hands on. I had their Whiskey 1 to 5 for a long time, and until a guy contacted me out of the blue and was willing to pay me basically almost its new price for it. I said, yeah, sure. How could I not sell it for that price? And their Tango 4 1 to 4 first focal plane was really good, except for the fact the illumination sucked. If the illumination on that thing was brighter, that would have been a phenomenal little LPVO, albeit a first focal plane 1 to 4, which I don't really see the need for, but hey, all things considered, it was actually pretty good. So how does this thing stack up? Because let's say this is $100, which isn't out of the realm of possible for a cantilever mount like that seems pretty well built. So that would mean that this thing would be $140. I'm not really too hopeful with those numbers. It just doesn't sound right. Anyway, you get caps included. Not just caps, but actual SIG caps. Look at that. They went through the trouble of actually molding these, and they have a nice positive click, and they have a really good feel. Way better than the caps that come with Primary Arms products. Primary Arms caps feel really like a hard, cheap plastic, like it's going to snap. This actually feels like it's got some moldability to it. Like it's got some give. It's not going to just shatter in my hands. Good job, SIG. I am going to leave those off to the side for now, just to not clutter the scope. Starting at the back, we have our fast focus eyepiece. This thing has a fine amount of adjustability to it. Feels pretty good. And if we pull it all the way out with a half a turn in, we do have an unfortunate amount of rock in there. It does move quite a bit. I don't want to force this because the last thing I want to do is break a brand new LPVO. But I'm going to screw this all the way in just to prevent it from getting damaged. And we're going to focus our attention on the magnification ring. The inclusion of a little cattail like this is really nice. It is, of course, threaded, so in case you do break this, you should be able to extract that fairly easily because of the big shoulder that you have there. All the pressure is going to be on those two mating surfaces, not on the threads themselves. So if this thing snaps off, those threads should just back right out. Very nice, though. No need for a throw lever. The knurling on this is very aggressive, like we've seen with many other SIG products. And the same thing goes for the knurling on the magnification ring. Really, really nice stuff. Starting at 9 o'clock, we have a 180-degree throw for a magnification ring, which is completely standard. You can hear a little bit of rubbing inside, but nothing alarming. It's very smooth and there's no binding. So that's a win. That feels pretty good. Moving on to the illumination control, I removed the cap. You can see the big double leaf spring in there. And just the 3 dimples in the middle. No sort of fingers to hold the battery in place. But I find that these systems work perfectly fine for the price. Illumination dial on the side goes from 1 to 11 with a single off position. This is 360-degree rotational. But listen to this. Listen how positive that pop is. That actually feels really good. Once it's there, it's nice and tight. But granted, this is a brand new LPVO. This has no miles on it, so only time will tell to see how well this thing will hold up in the future. Now, before we start talking about the turrets, another nice feature that SIG does is this white line on the side. What that is for leveling it. When you put this inside of your rings, as long as they're horizontal capped rings, you should get this lined up with the top, torque it down, and you should be at least in the ballpark. Unfortunately for the price, you get some pretty cheap and mushy feeling rings. Yeah, the click sounds pretty good, but the ring doesn't feel like it's really clicking into position. And it's a bit disappointing, but again, this is going to be a set and forget LPVO, so I'm not opposed to this at all as long as it doesn't pop out and as long as it tracks halfway decent. But enough of that, let's get behind this thing and see what it looks like.
What can you really expect for $140? Well, I wasn't expecting it to feel as good as it so far does, nor was I expecting it to look as good as it does so far. First off, we see very little of the scope body, all things considered, and that's welcomed by any LPVO or any optic at that point, at any price point. We don't see a lot of distortion at the far edge against the power lines, but there is a touch of magnification going on. Again, that's not terrible, all things considered. As far as the reticle goes, I personally really like it. I think SIG went with a really elegant design that is simple and effective. Illumination is noticeable, but just noticeable. However, as long as you're not using it in direct sunlight like you are here, it'll be perfectly adequate for most other environments. The size of the center reticle, or at least that centermost donut, is a really good size to pick up with the eye, and I really, really like that center sharp dot for really precise shooting. Here at 30 yards, of course, 6X is going to look a little wonky, and you're going to see a lot of mirage going on because it's about 0 degrees outside and it's about 75 in my apartment. So we're going to have a lot of sort of distortion with the air. We're at about 3X here and the image looks okay, but again, there is a lot of mirage going on. However, when we crank it all the way up to its maximum here at 6, we're blessed with a truly wonderful looking image. I don't know how the hell SIG did this, but they managed to make this thing look really good so far at 1X and really good at 6X, or at least so far to the naked eye for such a cheap price. It makes you wonder how other manufacturers with optics nearly 10 times the price of this can't pull that off. And that's going to conclude this unboxing. Again, if you want me to review the mount, let me know in the comment section below so I don't waste my time or yours. And that's it. So far, color me impressed, SIG. Except for right there at 3x where the image gets really soft everywhere and I don't know why. But so far, for 140 bucks, if that's the only issue, it could be a lot worse. Anyway, that's all for right now. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, see you again next time.
And a very huge thank you to all of my Patreon providers. Without you, this wouldn't be possible. If you'd like to help support the channel but don't want to join my Patreon, I completely understand. But you can still help support by using my affiliate links in the description below. Thanks again for watching.